Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to Geek.
No, I wasn't ready. Go again. Dang.
Hey everyone, welcome to Geek. What the hell am I doing here? Hey everyone, welcome to Geek Chat. I'm Shirley.
What's up? I am Christy, and I'm so happy to be here today. Just so happy she is.
My neck is hurting. I slept on it wrong, so it's like I'm in pain right now. So every time I move it, I'm like, ah.
She's like total stiffness.
Yeah,
now.
it's really hurting. I'm not gonna
Hopefully.
lie. We're here to review Rustin, which is based on Bayard Rustin. It's not like his whole life. It's basically like he was the organizer and advisor, and he was an advisor of Martin Luther King Jr. and he was the organizer of the March on Washington, Jobs and Freedom in 1963. And of course, you heard about that march. It's a very important march. And so, and it's mostly about him just getting that march and with the help of people, I don't know if like organizers, I guess, people who are just.
They're organizers.
Yeah. Regular people just with him, like just getting this shit done. And they had to get it done in like 7 weeks. Who fucking organizes a big ass march like that in 7 weeks? That shit is crazy, but they got it done.
Yeah, so
All
my
these
background is in housing advocacy. I'm telling you, we would spend months planning a march or an action. And people were still not like totally, completely happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah.
7 weeks? That is amazing.
That is amazing.
That is the dedication.
Dedication, man. And remember, these people probably had jobs on top of that.
Yeah.
And then having to go do that. But they knew how important, Bayard Rustin knew how important that was. Because ultimately, this led to, John F. Kennedy, and 9 months later, Congress passing the law. And I'm totally forgetting the law. I am so sorry.
The Civil Rights Act.
Yes, the Civil Rights Act. Thank you so much. The Civil Rights Act. So that was important. That march protest needed to be done, and the actor's name is Coleman Domingo. And
I want to share.
You want to share about him?
Yeah, his father's from Belize, and he has family from Guatemala.
That was just so exciting because, our mom's Guatemalan, so that was cool. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And, oh, my God, he is phenomenal. He's phenomenal. I've heard... I researched Bayard Rustin because I said this in the podcast and episode before. This is actually on YouTube. Check it out if you want. Our Best of the Year 2023, and then our latest episode about Megan Thee Stallion. Ooh. And the shows we've been watching and reviewing, like Marry My Husband and all that stuff. But anyways, and Sign of Affection. Watch those videos on our YouTube channel, Geekish Chat, or Apple Podcasts, Geekish Chat. So, but anyways, so what the fuck was I saying?
You said a lot.
I did say a lot.
Take a breath.
But anyways, in the latest episode, on our latest episode, I mentioned that I went to Bayard Rustin High School. It is called Bayard Rustin Education Complex in Chelsea. I don't know if they changed it, but I knew the name of my school when I was in high school, but and they had a bust of Bayard Rustin. The thing is, that's as much as it went. They never really honored him, and so I had to research who he was. And it's crazy how you know him, but you don't know much about him compared to other people who protest and organizers and fighters, and stuff like that.
And what people don't understand, that there are advocates out there. Everyone is an advocate, and they organize, right? They organize marches, they organize planning meetings, workshops, anything around, any cause that they might be fighting for, housing, whether climate change, all that. Mm-hmm. The importance of organizers is literally right up here. Without the organizers, these actions, these marches will not be happening. Kid you not. For every march that happens in a city, there is organizing around it. Nobody's just putting up a post and being like, hey guys, there's a march, come out. No. It doesn't work like that. You gotta get permits. You gotta make sure that whoever's gonna be in the front is willing and able to get arrested for the cause. You know, there's so many things happening. And then you hear all these other stories of people getting arrested and all that stuff, because that just happens in marches. But there are people out there who are trained in getting arrested and making sure they have a contact number when they get arrested and stuff. So it's intentional. Everything is intentional when you see a march or an action happening.
Or a protest or something.
A protest. They don't necessarily call it a protest anymore. They call it actions now. They
move actions.
From protest to actions. Okay. So this man, hella important. But his history and story is not out there, which is really crazy. So when I found out that this movie was coming out, I was so excited because I was like, finally, a story about him, because I remember Shirley telling me about him, but I didn't really know who he was.
Because of my school.
And so when I saw, there's a story about him. And then when I saw the movie, I was like, oh, so this is what he did. Because I did not look him up.
Yeah, I looked him up because of my school's name.
A lot of organizers and, advocates don't get credit for the work that happens behind the scenes. He definitely needs to get credit.
Yeah, and I remember in the end,
passionate about it.
I remember in the end of the movie, he got the National Medal of Freedom. They mentioned that in the end, in the credits.
And who gave it to him?
Oh shit, who gave it to him? I forgot.
What year did he get it?
Crap, I forgot. I really don't remember.
I'm wondering if it was recent, but anyways.
But damn, I don't remember, but he did get it. But this was after he died. So, many years later after he died. But what was I about to say?
I guess we should get back to the movie.
No.
But this is important.
But there was a part, because one of the big things about Bayard Rustin is that he is a gay black man.
Yes.
So that is who he is. That is part of him, It's important because, of course, he was dealing not only with racism, but he was dealing with homophobia. And it brings up how even in your own community, and he was talking about this, there's a part where he's talking to Martin Luther King Jr., and he's talking about how, people who are oppressed will oppress people because they're so oppressed that they need to oppress someone who they deem lesser than them, And so it's always about, especially one of the big things in any marginalized community, the Latin community or the black community, or many communities who are marginalized, indigenous community, the Asian community, and stuff like that, and many more. They talk about how you say freedom and rights to all people, but you have to really mean all people, and that means the LGBTQ plus IA community. Yeah, so to all communities, because it's going for the black, the black community, and basically all rights, not only to everyone, but also to black transgender community, to the black queer community, and that's what he was trying to say, or because there's colorism, in the community, and he was talking about that, how you will oppress people because you're so oppressed that you have to oppress someone just to feel, I don't know, it's some type of control or power in a sense.
Yeah, that is a very real thing, and it happens in various different cultures around the world. There's a Brazilian author. His name is Paulo. I forgot his last name, but he has a very interesting book called Pedagogy of Oppression, and he also talks about the oppressed becoming the oppressors.
I mean, yeah, because
uses that exact term.
Because we're from the Latin community. I mean, there's like racism. I mean, here's an Afro Latin man, actor, Colin Domingo, playing Bayard Rustin, you know. And so.
And Domingo is actually a gay man.
He is.
As well.
And so, you know, and of course, the Latin community has big time anti blackness. They do. And so it's like, you know, I remember John Leguizamo was talking about like how like there's not a lot of Latin people getting nominated for Oscars. Well, here the Afro-Latin actor, he just got nominated for an Oscar. Him, you know,
and he better win.
I would give him the Oscar. Oscars don't matter in general because ultimately it's just who pays a lot of money for these award shows.
Oscars doesn't matter to us,
but
to actors they do. And he better get it because I'm gonna be tight.
You know, I would give it to him because he was fucking phenomenal. I'm not lying. I was watching a movie. The movie is good, but it was him. It
was all about him. His performance, his presence.
Holy shit!
Not only did he show a passion for who and how he identified as a gay black man in the film, he had so much passion in the work he did, in the freedom he believed in for his community.
And then it's like he's charismatic. He's loud. He's angry. He's proud. He's, you know, but he's also vulnerable. He's sad. He's depressed. You know, these people, you know, even in his own community are looking at him as other, you know, like, oh, you know, he shouldn't be here. But
like fellow organizers.
Yeah.
That he's worked with in the past or that he knows. And so.
Yeah. Even to his, like in the end, there's a scene when everything comes out about him, about being a gay man because he got arrested, you know, and stuff like that, just because he was with two other, you know, men, basically. So, you know, the ending, it's not, you know, he probably doesn't want, I don't know, but it's not like validation from society because society sucks. But I think it's more in the fact that, you know, or it could be wanted validation, of course. Who doesn't? But I think it was more about the fact that in the end, you know, Martin Luther King Jr. and other, you know, organizers were like defending him and defending his honor. And I think that was more important because he's given his all for this cause. And here are his good friends, people he loves, defending him. And I think that's what he just wanted, you know, too. Aside from the freedom and rights of his people, you know, of his community.
Yeah.
So.
And I just want to point out that, remember, at this time, people of the LGBTQ community didn't have any rights.
Yeah, so.
And so here, Martin Luther King Jr., a man of God, and I'm sure you know that the church does not accept the community, the LGBTQ plus community. A man of God took Rustin as his friend, as his personal and closest advisor.
Yeah. So.
And he accepted him.
Because ultimately, it's, you know, people are humans. And
exactly. But I'm just pointing that out because.
I'm laughing because you just we're recording and you just ended up with like a check on your face. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Okay. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
We don't have any commercials. But anyways, we were on the next topic.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just human beings just loving human beings.
That's what we want to see around the world.
It's just like, you know, it's Bayard Rustin, you know, just wanted the love and acceptance of his peers, his good friend, and that was important aside from everything else, you know, fighting for freedom and rights.
Yeah.
And the way he was just so passionate too about everything, it was beautiful. Like the ending that made me cry was the part where he grabbed the trash.
Oh,
what?
Do you want to share that ending? That's a spoiler.
Oh, I want to share it because it made me cry.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Share it away.
Is when he takes and it's the end of the march, and he takes the trash bag from one of the people who were helping out, a young man that was helping out picking up the trash after. And he just takes it and he starts picking up trash too. And I don't know, but I just found that beautiful because people always make fun or look down on jobs like being a trash man or working in, you know, one of these like fast food restaurants, like
customer service,
or customer service jobs, or farmers, or any
farmers
job.
Are like putting food on your table. How can you look down on a farmer? How can you not pay a farmer what
these are
it's a person in an office makes?
Exactly. These are intelligent people who are working laborious, hard jobs, you know, and they have to deal with so many people with different personalities, and a lot of them are shitty because you know you work customer service. And you know how nasty they could be to you.
I'm like, yo, bitch, I'm selling you your food, yo, relax.
So it's like, just because being a trash man is just as important if you're working in a fucking office.
Exactly.
The only difference is that society and capitalism, or how much, you know, organization or whatever, pay somebody, or how they look at jobs, you know.
Yeah, and it's people who are putting the weight of the importance on a job.
Yeah,
and
it's people.
So just listen to us. Every job is important.
Every job is important.
No matter what you do.
No matter what you do, every job is important. You know, I don't know.
It contributes
to society. That part made me, you're contributing to, who was holding up society when COVID hit? Exactly. A lot of customer service, people who were working these jobs at stores and stuff, where everybody else who worked in the office was working from home. He was picking up the trash.
You know?
I don't know. That shit made me cry.
I'm sorry. I'm getting tight right now. But
no, that made me cry.
And why that part is so important? Because in the movie, they show it that
they don't want him.
The president had already invited them to the White House right after the march to talk to them. But he chose to stay behind and pick up trash.
Yeah.
Instead of go to the president's office and talk to him.
Yeah.
Because in my readings, they talk about who he is as a character, and he wasn't the guy. Well, sometimes he would speak, and he would speak so prolifically, but he didn't want too much attention. Mm-hmm. And I could see. In the movie they showed it. I mean, keep in mind that a lot of this movie was criticized. Some people really liked it. Some people didn't. Because, you know, there are also nuances in the film.
Right.
Right? But it did not deserve... It did not get the reception that it should have gotten when it came out. And watch you. He's going to win the Oscar. He better win. And people are going to go flock and see this movie. They're going to be watching it.
I don't even know who the hell's running for the best actor Oscar.
I don't care. He better win. And I'm going to watch the Oscar this year, expecting him to win. So even Mr. Oscar and all those people who are on the board or in vote for the Oscars, he better win. It will be a shame. This guy's acting is amazing. The fluidity that he uses to go between such power, such passion, such intensity, to such vulnerability, to sadness. It's amazing.
Yeah. And then
it's amazing to watch. Please, people, watch this film.
And even if he doesn't win the Oscar, his performance was phenomenal. He should be proud, man, because that was phenomenal. Yeah. And I hope he wins. But
I just want to also mention that there were so many other great performers in the movie, but alongside him was a prominent figure he was a labor unionist and a civil rights activist. His name was Philippe Randolph, and he was played by Glenn. Woo-hoo, I know I had his name here. Dun, 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 dun. Where is he? Sorry, Glenn Turman. He was an amazing actor. There's also Chris Rock was in it. The Jeffrey Wright.
CCH Pounder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She played Dr. Anna Arnold Hedgeman. I hope I'm saying the name right, because that was a very important civil rights leader. Doctor Anna Arnold Hedgeman.
And she was probably the only woman among
civil rights leader and activist as well.
Amongst the civil rights leaders and activists.
And they bring up a good part when she talks about how, like, why is there no more, like, black women there in the march?
From when I looked at the program for the march, because, like, I looked it up.
No, that's good to look up. That's important.
From what I remember, I think there was either just one or two women. And they didn't really have a speech. I think one was singing. Or do a poetry or something. I don't remember exactly because it was a long time ago that I looked it up. But it's really kind of, it was sad to see that, But, she did bring up in the movie that where are the women speakers for the day. But what I did like, but I don't know if this, I didn't really get to research all the names on the program, but
who was the actor who played?
But no politicians spoke at the march. Because, let me tell you, I've been to so many, like, actions and stuff. Why do politicians always want to be the first one speaking? Like, come on. Let the people speak. Politicians want to get there, speak, and then leave. I hate that. I hate that so much.
With, the actor Michael Potts, right?
Yeah.
Cleve Robertson, who was a Jamaican-born American labor organizer and civil rights activist. He was really good. He was passionate too.
Oh, and
he was just always, like, there, like, forward, passionate about the cause. He was there to, like, support Bayard Rustin. I was like, the actor was good.
And it's in the movie. This is probably why there was some criticism. They show the NAACP as not really, like, kind of supportive? United with Rustin's mission for the march. They did not want to do it. And it wasn't until, like, the mid of the movie that he was along with Philip Randolph, was he able, and Martin Luther King Jr., was he able to convince the NAACP to come on board. Because, of course, the NAACP is a very prominent black civil rights organization, especially at that time, and it's still till today. So I thought that was very important to see in the film.
The movie,
because you see the kind of the complexities in this type of work. It's not, it's very challenging, this type of work. It's exhausting. People who dedicate themselves to this life of work, of being an advocate, an organizer, it is exhausting. And you could kind of see it in this movie and how it's portrayed. And I thought it was great.
A lot of things in watching the movie made me think about what's going on today with, like, around the world, in the sense of, like, especially here because of the bringing it, because America, like, because this is where we live, like the protests for, like, Palestine that have been going on, and how in our democracy, in the sense of the Democratic Party being, because we have a Democratic president, Joe Biden, and he is funding this genocide, and all that stuff. So there's way more genocides going on that, we're not hearing about, sadly, or the media is not pushing out there. We're not getting a lot of stories because, sadly, maybe a lot of people can't record what is going on.
And just to give you some context about what we're talking about, I'll share one particular story that I heard today. We follow a journalist online who is in Palestine and is Palestinian. And she was sharing the story of snipers.
Busan?
Yeah.
Busan?
Curly hair.
Yeah. I think that's her name. I'm so sorry if I'm saying her name wrong.
And I didn't know if we should say her name or not, but yeah, she's on Instagram. She's sharing up-to-date live stories about what's happening in Palestine. And today in the morning, I saw a story about a doctor who was risking her life to go save to save someone. And when I mean risking her life, there are snipers surrounded by a hospital that's right, a non-functioning hospital, I believe it was.
Yeah, there's snipers around,
and they're shooting civilians.
Yeah, just civilians to get food or get to any help.
So she is literally running, trying to not
get killed.
You know? And she's a doctor. So.
Oh, she's a doctor. I thought.
No, not that. She's talking. The story is about a doctor.
Sorry, I got confused.
Yeah.
sorry. So, it doesn't matter. But anyway, she's a brave person, or just to go through that, just in general, just that's your life, and then you're trying to just save people, and then going. But all I'm gonna say is that going back to the movie, definitely.
You okay?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely check out the film if you can.
Yeah, and
can. So yeah, he's amazing. Check out Bayard Rustin's story.
And
that shit made me cry. Just who he is as a person.
Mm-hmm. And what he had to go through. Yeah.
It's like, fuck. Nobody should go through anything like that. And they still are today,
And the way he just laughs it off, too. Like,
he does that because, I'm assuming, this is just me assuming, I guess it's the coping mechanism of all the horrible shit that's and the trauma that is happening to him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So this is a very moving, you'll probably cry type of film, but amazing performances from so many actors and a very important story to be told. And I'm happy it came out now, and I really hope you get to see it. It's on Netflix. Hopefully you have Netflix. Get the 1 week free just to watch this movie.
Yeah, just I'm assuming that's how from what I'm reading, how his personality kind of was.
From what I read from the actor, he said that he watched video clips, he studied him. So I have not yet seen a video of Rustin myself, but I had intended before this review. But I
did, and it was
Did it feel like he was portraying him?
Yeah,
accurately.
I thought so.
Oh, okay.
From what I remember, because I haven't seen one in a while. Because remember, in high school, this is when I researched him, because that's when I was in the school. so, but from what I remember,
I want to put let's say that the education system
sucks now,
kind of sucks, because especially your school, how do they not have like Bayard Rustin Day, and they do kind of a thing around civil rights actions and all that in Black History Month at your school? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, this should be happening in every school, because he was such an influence on the movement from what you see in the movie from what you read, because
my school
read on
was like crazy.
So I'm just, the idea that this information wasn't out there before this movie even came out, the fact that a gay man was the leader.
Fucking people staring. I was like, why are you staring so hard?
Was the leader of the Civil Rights March on Washington, which happens to be, still today, the biggest march that ever happened in Washington, D.C. And there are so many marches that happen in D.C. Or actions, too.
Yeah.
So incredible. They brought out so many people. And I see the actual real images of it. It's amazing.
My school we had so many cops in there. And then I remember like one day, because a fight broke out, and then the next day it was like they had the detectors, for like guns and stuff, like the big detectors. Mm-hmm. Like, we literally had to go through them in our school. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, why is there so many cops? It was like a prison. Not really like a prison, because prisons, whoa. But like, it was like, this is a high school where kids go, and it was like so many cops, and like, that's another talk on the public about the public school system and stuff like that. And why are cops in our schools or in our trains? That's a whole other fucking damn topic.
Well, whew, it's hard to say because even before,
but
I would always be like, "Where's the cops in the train?" And now I see them on the train, and I'm like, "Why are they here?" Only because it's like scary. Because sometimes you know that they put a lot of cops on the train because they know something's going to happen. That is usually,
but they
usually
don't do shit most of the time.
That's usually why something happened. You know, I don't know what I'm saying, but.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they shouldn't be there.
Oh my gosh! But in the film, they show the cops. Rustin and his organizers bring in about 1,000 policemen. That scene made me cry, and made me cry because they also mentioned the fact that how cops were killing Black Americans even back then. Like they say a lot around it, just to because they're trying to agitate the cops. Because they want them to experience what it might be like at the march. But even as Rustin knew that cops were killing Black people, he still invited them to be peacemakers at the march. In instance, he said that they will be peacemakers. I think at the march they had to wear white bands on their arms. They couldn't carry their gun.
It was just sad.
It was a nice scene.
It was sad
but
because
also sad.
It's like all these cops, especially when the Black Lives Movement, actions were taking place, and until now with the Palestine and all this actions as well. You see these cops who are also Black or from a marginalized community, Asian or Latino, whatever, other communities as well, indigenous, beat up and kill their own people. And it's like, it's just sad. It's awful, evil, and sad. Yeah. That's why to break down, you can't reform systems that are already, people have said this better, that are already made to be a certain way. You gotta fucking break them down. You gotta break them down to rebuild them up, to change them. I don't know. Other people have said it better, of course. All the time. So, anyways, this is
it's hard to say,
Rustin podcast review. Thank you for listening. To check out Kika's chat on YouTube and our Apple Podcast. Subscribe, comment below, correct us.
And thank you for listening and watching. Please, if you know anyone who loves movies as much as we do and loves to hear about movies and stuff, please share our podcast or our YouTube channel with them. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to either our podcast or YouTube. We really just love talking about films and stuff. So
we do. Peace out, everyone.
Thank you.
Adios.